Hi YouTube. This is going to be a very different video. Um, Beyond the fact that I've changed my hair color. This isn't a funny video. This isn't a cute video. This isn't a happy video, but it's an important one. I will cry because I've been trying not to cry for the last few weeks. And talking about this is going to kind of unleash that, I think. And it's going to be in Spanish. It's going to be in Spanish. Is it? No, it's going to be in English. It's going to be in English, and I'm going to use Spanish phrases, and I would encourage you to try to look them up and try and find them and try to understand. But it's going to be in English because I want this to reach an audience that I have. We have some of the most incredible federal laws in Argentina that protect the rights of all Argentines. Some people maybe know us for the abortion law and the gender laws and the kind of social aspects that Argentina is very, very advanced with. Some people agree with it, some people don't. Or I should say some people disagree with it because most people agree. And I'm one to very much be on the side of whatever protects one protects all. And if you protect the people that have the least amount of rights, then you ensure that everyone else is safe. And what's currently being debated in Congress is, what's currently being debated is the Ley de Glaciares, which is our law for glaciers, big, massive chunks of ice that you see in videos. We have espacios glaciares y periglaciares, which are some of the biggest deposits of natural, sweet, human consumption, appropriate, I don't know how to say this in English, agua dulce, which the translation is sweet water, which is water that you can drink. And since 2009, I think, these glaciers have been protected. I think in 2015 is when the first kind of law came out, but the Argentine people, including our indigenous populations, have been fighting for this for 15 years. I mean, since forever, to be completely honest, but we are a country that has laws that ensure that, constitutionally, you can't limit rights. Like, one of the things we have is that if you are passing a law, it has to make things better, basically. And it can't remove rights that have been given. That's like the basic pretext and underlying kind of political way of doing things we have. And my God, if certain people see this video, I'm going to get so much hate. I'm going to get so much shit for this. I don't care. One of the things we also have is the right to be heard. As Argentines, when a public audience is granted, our diputados, which is like you have the House and you have the Senate, I think, or something like that. The House of Representatives is our diputados, and then you have the Senate. Before a law gets passed in the Senate, diputados have they discuss it, they create it, they pass it through, they vote on it. And certain laws generate enough public interest or have enough kind of movement behind it that a public audience is granted. The public audience has been granted for this modificación de la Ley de Glaciares. And up until last Friday, the 20th, you could put your name, your surname, your ID number, what province you're from, and you had the right to be a part of this public audience. And it's supposed to be a thing where you either go to Congress and speak, or you hop online to speak. There's a precedent from, I want to say 2021, where there was a law trying to go through for Cordoba, and so many people asked to speak that the virtual audience ran for like 25 days, I want to say. But in this case, they said, over 100,000 people signed up, including me, including myself. 100,000 people wanted to speak and wanted to tell our representatives how much this matters to us. And they decided that only 200 people would be able to talk in person today, the 25th of March, virtually tomorrow on the 26th. A total of 200 people are going to be able to talk directly to the diputados that will go and vote on this law. The rest of us get to film a YouTube video or send something written to an email inbox. And they say that this is going to go into the expediente, which is the file, and they say that these diputados are going to listen and go through all of this. But we have no way of knowing that because it's not public and it doesn't respond to our right to be heard, because there's no guarantee that they give a shit or that they'll sit down and read and listen to what we have to say. Obviously, we have organizations and ONGs and, I was watching the audiencia today. We have a Nobel Prize winner speaking to these people, and they were on their phones and they were laughing, and it's just one of these. I sent an email to the presidente de la mesa, to the two people that are on this commission, and I wrote it. I didn't just copy paste what these organizations suggested, which is great to put in there, where you're saying, I don't agree with this. These different articles of our constitution and the Acuerdo de Escazú, which is an agreement that has to do with these public audiences, guarantees my right to be heard, and I'm asking you to do so. You know how organizations help you read out what you need to say to legally protect yourself or add your voice to the. I actually wrote something out. I actually wrote to them and I said, please don't take away the belief that I still have in our democratic system. Don't do that. Don't do that. And I know it's naive and I know it's but I live in a country where we try to hear each other. And I think the thing that's most heartbreaking is that we are a country that feels very acutely how precious democracy is. Because it was 50 years ago, yesterday, exactly yesterday, it was 50 years ago that the last military dictatorship started here. And the 24th of March every year is the day de Memoria de la Justicia, which is our memory of justice, because it was the day that the dictatorship started, and we have vowed to remember and never forget that democracy is not a choice. It is not something that, the ruling class or people that have power get to choose to respect or not. It is integral to our safety, to our well-being, and to everything that we represent as Argentines. And the 48 hours after that specific day, this is what they're doing. They are explicitly not letting us speak. And I'm so tired and so heartbroken. And I know I'm not even someone that's had to fight that much in comparison to other communities. There's a lot of the people that are speaking today are mentioning the rights that our indigenous pueblos originarios have here, and how they have the right to be informed and be heard in a way that has just been completely ignored when it comes to natural resources specifically. I'm just watching this going, they don't care. A representative of the government came out to say that, we can't let this affect the timeline because we have projects, mining projects that are being kept on hold until this goes through. So they have no intention of hearing us. They have no intention of I know some people are going to be watching this saying, girl, you should know, democracy is dead. And I can't believe that. I won't. I'm going to go to Congress today. I'm going to go sit outside and I'm going to be there. I don't know if it'll help, but I have to do something. And I don't know what this video is for entirely. I need to get this off my chest, first of all. I mean, obviously I'm talking about it with my sibling and with my friends. The Ley de Glaciares that's trying to be modified right now would allow for mining that would contaminate water, that just would kill us, our kids, our future generations. And I have to say something. I have to do something. And I'm gonna record my video. I was supposed to have 5 minutes to talk, and now they're saying it's only 4. I don't know if that's still the case. I'm gonna record 5 minutes because that's my right. It's funny, the audiencia pública, you're meant to have at least 5 minutes. Some audiencia públicas allow for more. But they cut down to 4 today. They announced they were going to cut off the audiencia at 7 p.m. They were going to let it run until everybody who needed to talk today could talk, but they only have 4 minutes instead of 5. So already, again, it's shitting all over the way the law has been written. But I'm going to record my 5-minute video. I'm going to upload it onto YouTube, and I'm going to share it with them. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be heard. I'm probably not. I doubt anybody's going to see that video. I wanted to create this video because, yes, I am heartbroken, and yes, it is hard, and yes, it is just, you feel powerless in front of it. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to go. I'm still going to go. I still wrote the emails. I've been writing out my thoughts for that 5-minute video. And I've asked people in my life if there's anything that they would add. And I think the best phrase came from someone I know. It said, because we were talking about data centers for AI and how much that is using up the water that we already don't have in the world. And they said there can be a future after AI, but there cannot be a future after water. And I'm just looking at all this going, bear with me, because I know everything is political. Everything. Anything you say, anything you decide, anything you do, anything you don't do is political. Yes, I am aware. But this is not political in the sense that we are humans that require water. That doesn't... When you don't have water and you're dying of thirst, whatever political opinions you have don't mean shit. There's no... And I'm watching this group of people decide almost unilaterally that doesn't matter. I don't know how you can think that way. How can you not understand that without water there's no life? And currently we have water. Beyond having it, the water that we have is already fading on its own because of all of this climate change that's been happening. Our glaciers are retracting. They're melting. Already we're running out, and you want to just go in there and blow them up? Like, it feels like they all assume they're going to be able to go live in the US. Which I guess, maybe that's what they think. It's like, I get to be paid today. I remember when I was a kid, I went to Pullman, I think it was, up north, where we have provinces now that are in kind of a desertification process because there's so little water that our earth is dying in front of us. And I remember I must have been like 12, 13, and they were giving out these pamphlets with a short story. And it was a short story about a woman who was taking her 2-minute shower that she gets once a week with a shaved head. She was reminiscing about the time where she had hair down to the middle of her back, and how she used to braid her hair and braid her daughter's hair and shower and use conditioner and all these things. But ever since water ran out, everybody shaves their head because there's no water to wash hair. And that stuck with me. And it stuck with me because it's real. That's not fake. That's not something that's like a hypothetical or an impossible future. It feels like a very reasonable possibility. I don't know how long I've been talking. Sorry if this is rambling, and I'm sorry if this isn't what you would want from this channel, but this is important. And I've been talking to a couple of folks that have, been fighting a lot of different things that have been happening over the last few years, and something that my sibling said that stuck with me was, well done for getting past that paralysis. Because that's their entire goal. That's their objective. They want you to be paralyzed. They want all of these things happening at the same time in a way that feels completely overwhelming, in a way that's so disrespectful to democracy and the Constitution and the processes that you just look at it and give up. I'm not going to give up. I can't. I know sometimes the world feels too big. And I know that the people that are in power feel too far away. But they want that. That's exactly why they do these things. That's exactly why they act in the way they do. That is exactly. But you allow that. If you don't write those emails, if you don't send those messages, if you don't make the pointless 20-minute YouTube video in English to an audience that isn't even Argentine, but that you have, I think I have like 20 subscribers or something like that. I know it's not much, but it's something. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to Congress today and sit outside. The thing that got me, there's a public site for Legal Dallas, which showed all the people that, signed up to talk. There's over 3,000 pages of names and people, and I was just scrolling through it going, how dare they ignore us? How dare they feel so entitled that they just get to look at it and go, I can't be bothered, just send a video. I don't know what I'm going to do. For now, I'm going to do the things that I have in front of me, but I can't. I don't ever want to be caught this off guard again. I don't ever want to have to feel this powerless again, because this has been shocking to me. Which, again, there's so many people that have been fighting for so long and know this and can look at me and say, oh, sweet girl. But this has changed something for me. I don't know what that looks like, but do the thing. Just do it. Democracy is not just voting once every few years. Democracy is saying something every single time it matters. It doesn't have to matter every single time for you. It doesn't have to be everything all the time. The things that matter to you, say something. Send the email, go ring the doorbell, message your group of friends. I sent out a distribution list for to be able to sign up. I sent it to about 50, 60 people. 4 got back to me. And that's fine. That's enough. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to link my 5-minute ponencia below. It's all in Spanish. If you don't mind hearing me, I'd love that. But democracy is hard. Democracy is hard when the other side doesn't want it to work. I think that's going to be the title of the video. All right, loves. Stay safe.